Welcome back to my channel, Duct Tape Mechanic. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix a Whirlpool or Maytag washing machine that's stuck on the spin cycle but isn't actually spinning. So if you find this video to be helpful, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more DIY and tinkering videos. So this is the washing machine in question. As I mentioned at the start, this video is going to be applicable to Whirlpool and Maytag washing machines, but it could also be applicable to Kenmore's and Amana's as well. Pretty much if it's got these 6 LED lights followed by a pause play button, this video can be applicable if you have this issue, because all these machines are manufactured by Whirlpool. So they're all pretty much the same, just branded and badged differently. Anyways, what's happening is that this machine is progressing all the way to the spin right there. Then the spin light is coming on and it's just staying put, meaning it's not actually spinning, it's not going to done, it's just staying stuck on the spin light. So this is actually a fairly easy fix, and you should be able to do it with maybe $30 or $40 worth of parts. So let's get to it. All right, so this is basically what's happening. It's on the spin cycle, but it's not actually spinning, and it's just stuck there with that light flashing. So let's go ahead and fix this issue. All right, so to fix this issue, the first thing we'll have to do is disconnect the water lines in the back and unplug the washing machine, and then go ahead and put it on its back. All right, so after that, we're gonna remove the belt cover. It's just 2 screws holding it in. If you're curious, if you do put your washing machine into diagnostic mode after this happens, oftentimes it'll throw an F7E1 error code, which is a motor speed code. It could mostly results from a bad capacitor right here. That's what we'll be replacing in this video. But if that doesn't resolve it, then most likely the sensor on the actuator is bad. Honestly, since the actuator here is so cheap, if you're down here, might as well replace both. But if you want to do a little bit more of a scientific approach to figure out exactly what's going on, I would start by looking at the capacitor and seeing how that thing looks. So let's take that off. So there's 2 ways that these things are mounted. There could be a screw holding it in, or it could be twist off. And it really doesn't matter because it's compatible for both. In this case, this one is twist off, but as you're going to see, the one we're going to install is screwed in. So both will work as long as the capacitance in this case, which is 50 microfarads, and the voltage is the same. So those 2 things are what we want to look for. So when you buy a new one, make sure you get one that's 50 microfarads, or if your washing machine has one that's 45, that's also okay. You want to make sure it matches, and also that's 250 volts AC. So that's the main things you want to look at when replacing it. In this case, I'm going to show you that all we're going to do is lift it up a little bit from the back over here and turn it counterclockwise, and it should come right off. So I'm trying to do this one-handed, kind of lift up from this back end right here. Well, turning it, there we go. And it should come off. You may have to unplug it first and then turn it. There we go. And there goes the capacitor. And be very careful not to touch the ends of this, because you could be in for a nasty little shock. So be careful. And if you're down here and you wanted to do the shifter as well, I can just demonstrate that real quick as well. Because like I said, between the capacitor and the shifter, that'll resolve this issue about 90% of the time. But sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to differentiate which one it is. Most of the time, if it's the shifter, it'll also throw another error code for the shifter. But sometimes that sensor in the shifter can throw the F7E1 error code as well. So anyways, it's just the 2 screws that hold it in. So 1, and 2, you just gotta unplug it, and there you go, the shifter is off. And I'll try to provide links for both the shifter and the motor capacitor at the bottom of this video. So in the description, they should also pop up around now in the video. But anyways, so I'm just gonna be putting the same shifter on because I know my shifter is good, but this is more for if you want to just knock out two of the potential causes in one sitting. Anyway, so just to put it on, you just make sure that this hook of the shifter is hooked onto the clutch over here, and just line up the pegs and then screw it in. Alright, so here's that replacement capacitor I was talking about. As you can see, it's a little bit different looking than the one I just took off, but it is a 50 microfarad 250 volt AC capacitor. It's just the mounting is different. This one's kind of a twist off mount. This is it's got a mounting hole, but the way that these machines are set up is they can take either sort of mounting option. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put the capacitor back on, plug it in, then also remember to plug in the shifter if you replace that as well, and then we'll give it a test run. I should say, prior to giving it a test run, we will have to recalibrate this washing machine, because if you replace the capacitor or the shifter, or in this case both, well, I just took it off and put it back on, but if you did both, you'd also have to recalibrate. But that's an easy process, and we'll do that after we plug everything back in. Don't forget to put the belt cover back on either. Alright, so I've got the washing machine all hooked up once again, but before I can do a test run, I do have to recalibrate it. So in order to recalibrate it, you just follow a couple really basic steps. I'm going to show you how to do it. So you just have to turn this knob 3 clicks to the right, 1 click backwards to the left, and then 1 click back to the right, and it should look something like this. 1, 2, 3, back, 1. Alright, so now we've entered the diagnostics mode. All of the lights are blinking, so we're just going to turn it clockwise until we get to the point where there's just a rinse light is lit up. And once we're there, all we're going to do is hit the start button and let it go through its process. So it's going to turn the water valves on and off, it's going to do a spin, maybe a quick agitate. It's just pretty much going to recalibrate everything so your machine runs optimally. So wait for that to finish, then we can do a test load. Alright, so we're at the test station, and we got a test load in there. I went ahead and kind of bypassed the lid switch so I could see what's going on. So far so good. So we're just going to be waiting for it to go into the spin cycle and see if that progresses all the way through and it gets to the done. Alright, looks like it's progressed to the spin cycle and it's spinning as it should. Now, right, so it looked like it finished the spin cycle and it has progressed to the done. So it's now able to complete a whole cycle, whereas before it was just sitting there on spin and the light was flashing. So changing the motor capacitor did fix this issue. So if you found this video to be helpful, make sure you hit the thumbs up sign.